any rate, I thank Governor King for being here today. And we had a conversation several months ago, maybe, about a piece he had written for the Bowdoin magazine, I believe. And at the time, I'd asked him if we could reprint it in the Sun Journal. At that time, you were hesitant, and one of the reasons you cited was because of the anonymous comments that appear on just about all newspaper websites. And we've introduced a new policy that many of our readers are familiar with, that people are going to have their names on their comments, and their names are going to be verified. And I'd just like to get your reaction to that, what you've seen in other newspapers, and your objections to that.
First, I think that the whole idea of people being able to comment online and increase the dialogue is good for everybody. More information comes out, and there's back and forth. I mean, it's sort of the essence of the democratic free speech process. My problem has always been the anonymity, because it seems it's a cloak behind which people can just say anything they want. They can make things up. They're not responsible for it. They can be borderline libelous, and you can't ever really answer it. And so I think what you've done makes total sense, and I think it's going to come in other places. I think you're leading on this. But if you think about it, town meeting is the classic example of free speech and open discussion. Nobody's allowed to go to town meeting with a bag over their head and a disguise and pretend they are someone else or make up some identity. I think people should be responsible for what they say. And if I write an op-ed in the journal, my name goes on it. And so why shouldn't the people who respond put their name on it? That doesn't mean they can't be vigorous. It's not a diminution of their First Amendment right. But as I read the First Amendment, there's nothing in it about the right to be anonymous. There's the right to speak. And that's really what we're talking about. So I think what you're doing makes total sense, and I think it will elevate the level of discussion. And I think also there are some people. I think the term is trolls. There are people that are have 4 or 5 different identities, and they're just zapping everything and everybody. And I think I think it'll be an improvement of the whole tone of the online community.
Well, thank you. We hope maybe you'll become an online commenter on sunjournal.com someday. Okay. Of course, we'll have to verify your identity.
Verify. Yeah, it never made a lot of sense to me for this. As long as there have been newspapers, if you write a letter to the editor, you have to sign it, and the paper generally checks to be sure you are who you say you are, and you live in Mount Vernon or Leeds or Greene or Lewiston or Auburn. So why should the online letter to the editor be any different? I mean, to me, it makes total sense.